Season 5 of Kerbal Space Program with mods and stuff like that. So this is the ship we just did. But now we have a bunch of new parts. So I think I'm actually going to scrap a lot of this. I might keep some of this top part here. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well, there you go. So we're going to scrap all the bottom part. We're going to keep the life support thing. But we're going to just ditch all that. Yeah, so new parts. So let's go ahead and we want to do the engines. Or the fuel tanks. Let's look at our fuel tanks. So we have... I'm guessing the symbol means something interesting. Let's also make sure we don't have any new science. No, same science buildings. Oh, actually, wait, what is this? A science container. The new shelf. Oh, I see. So this might be a thing you can open up. Nothing to attach it to. Let's give it. Let's have a larger container. What I'm guessing is this is you can have. It's like the other thing we have, except on the side. No, none of this is contained. Huh. Okay, sorry. Let me just read it. Happens 0G, and even underwater, you can make it an experiment. Small parts inside make it suitable for small children. What? Observe materials bay. Collectible data. Rerunnable. Resettable. Science container. So is it just another... It's like the Science Junior? Although I don't know what it attaches to. Huh. Alright, we'll see if we can throw that on there every now and then. I don't want this. I just wanted to see what that was. Okay, so this is what we're going to land with, to come back with. But let's basically do kind of what we already did, but supersize it. We don't need to do gardens. This is going to be a shorter trip. So we're not going to use any of our longer, neater things yet. Or recyclers and things like that. That'll be for longer trips. So let's just go with big fuel tanks. So then this is... Let's pop them out here. Okay. And smaller. So I think this one's just basically double this. And then our engines. So we have this big guy. Attaches onto that. And I think, is this... We also said that we have a smaller one also. So, let's do... do that. Or maybe we'll do that. And then we'll do the smaller engine. So, yeah. We'll do a decoupler. And some more. And then we'll add stuff to the sides. So we wanted, I don't know where all these things are located. I guess we can't, well, we can add the decouplers and then we'll add the fins. So we want 4. And then we're going to add the fins that we got. So the winglets, let's look at the sizes. So they're similar. This one's look cooler. Alright. Then actually, so we don't have the mainsail ones yet. Those ones are the ones that are lots of thrust. So we'll try these out. We'll see if this is enough to get this big monstrosity off the ground. We'll see. Alright, and then we want to put more on the bottom. Let's see what this does first, maybe. Let's add more. Let's try and make it so it won't actually take off first, and then we'll adjust. So we want decouplers. All right, engines. Yeah, we'll see. And then we want struts. This is going to be unmanned to start. Well, my guess is this won't take off. So then what we'll see is if we add a couple more things to it, if it will then take off. If that doesn't work, then we will take off some stuff. We want these. And then we want... So this thing... No, that's the fuel thing. Let's go back to the science thing. Is there anything this thing attaches to? Must be some part that this thing attaches to that I don't know what it is yet. Okay. We have all that thing. We have all those. I think that's the thing. This part's already good. We should add fins under this monstrosity. Perfect. And then I don't know if having them up here as well is a bad idea or not, but we'll find out. So what other options we could add another layer outside of this? We'll start with this. This is the science 10. We're going to definitely take out the passenger. Thank you. We don't have any other science we can do. Our goal is to get to min-miss and counter and then back. So let's go to launch. SAS on. See, it's small. It's not very big at all. Throttle up. Oh, how's our stage? Perfect. Great. Go. Okay. So it doesn't get off the ground. All right. Got it. Recover the vessel. You know what the solution is for that? More. Well, the problem is we don't have the mainsail ones. Those ones, like, they really burn a lot and they go really fast. So what we could do is we could add more rockets to the outside. So what I might do is change this to, I still want 4. Put this here. Remove this. Well, actually, hold on to that. Decoupler. Oh, the snapping thing is really cool. so we want engines or fuel. Okay. I screwed something up. There should be engines on the bottom of the inner guys. These guys. The computer's making a weird noise. I don't know if it picks up an audio or not. Got one of the fans. Needs something. I don't have a budget. It's one thing that would also make the game harder. Right now, my hard part is I'm not trying to have anybody die. But the other thing I could do is actually have a budget. That'd probably make the game tougher. But I also wanted it to still be fun. So that's why I decided not to do budget right now. No budget is the best way. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, let's do the cones. We want the Rockomax attachments first, and then the other cones on top. And we want fins. This one we can do the twos. We have a lot of control of this, or no control. It might even take off. Okay. So let's check our staging. So these are all together. Yep. And then we are actually going to have a decoupler in here. Right. Yeah, decoupler, engines, decoupler, engine, decoupler, engine, decoupler, parachutes. Perfect. This is, we'll just keep it science 10. And then if there's a person in it, we're going to kick him out. I'm assuming they won't be. Okay. Throttle up. SAS on. 3, 2, 1, go. So we'll see when it will start going. If it will ever start going. But we don't have the main sails, so that's partly, I think, what's messing me up. So in a little bit, if it starts going, I'll have an idea of how much less fuel I need to have on these bottom engines. Like if it starts taking off when it's like half empty here, then that might mean that if I just remove half of those engines, then maybe it'll still work. And luckily the launch pad doesn't burn up. Might, yeah. Oh, you might not need the lower ones? That's possible too. So what I'm trying to see is if it will take off at all with these bottom engines. Or not. So it looks like we at least want to get rid of half of them. Okay, let's recover the vessel. Let's kill the engines. Recover the vessel. Let's get rid of half of those bottom fuel tanks. And then we'll see how that works. So we're going to, so we want, this thing as the attachment part, so we want to keep that. We're going to get rid of this and this, so let's remove this and this guy. And this, and that, and this, and that. And then this guy. Will go ×4. Right there. And this guy will go ×4 right here. And then we need one more strut. And up here. And over here. Actually, I don't want to break off that fin. So maybe I won't attach it right there. Alright, let's see if this does anything. I think everything else should be fine. Go to launch. Okay. Engines are still good in the right spot. Yep, okay, good. Throttle up, SAS on. And go. Fuel is heavy. I might have had too many fuel tanks in some of these other spots, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if it takes off at all. I never tried to speed up during launch. That's interesting. No, I guess it doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. I guess I won't speed up during launch again. What I might try is removing one more layer of these fuel tanks here and see if that is enough. You need a physics accelerator time. Yeah, right. If you want to try to speed up the launch. Oh, we have takeoff. Perfect. Flawless takeoff. Yeah. We'll see if when we switch to the next ones, if they are able to make it go up or not. Sort of going up. Very slowly. And all these things I'm about to launch out are going to be pretty close to headquarters, so luckily we don't have to also pay for the budget to repair it. Okay, bye. So we're still... We are... No, we're actually... We're losing speed. Okay, so clearly too heavy. So, I mean, I can play this out, but I don't feel like that really helps us. So I'm gonna just, I don't usually do this, but there's no people, there's no So we want to go to Space Center. Then we'll just leave. So that, I think, reverted that flight is how that works. Maybe. Oh, it's actually back in the launch pad? Or what? Recover. Okay. So, too heavy. Let's try and remove some of the ones from this inner stage. So we'll keep this as is. We'll remove, so we want to disconnect this. Remove this guy. Let's attach this. And we'll see if this will take off. And see if it's not too heavy. We could also adjust some of the other stuff. Well, let's try this out first. If that is enough less weight to do it. I think everything else should be fine. So no people still. Let's go to launch. Let's see if this takes off. And if it's actually able to fly. So, SAS on, throttle up, and go. So again, still too heavy. Let's give it a try. What I want to know is with the next stage if it actually will go up also. Or if removing those extra tanks isn't enough to do it. Oh, yeah, we're going up. Okay, good. Yeah, best smoke machine ever. So far so good. This seems like a lot better than the last one. So we'll see how well we can do with the Minimus plan. If I recall, Minimus is a weird, on a weird orbit. Listen to all the infinite money burn. Right. Yeah, I think Minimus was on a weird orbit. So that makes it a little bit trickier. You have to get an orbit of Kerbin, adjust your orbit, and then get out there and then get back, if I recall. That's our goal. We want to see how well this, lots and lots of engine plan will work out. So far, it's pretty slow, but we're on just the first set, so we'll see if when we switch, if we are gaining speed or losing speed. Wobbly. I probably should have added struts from the cone tops to like the next stage. But we'll see when we switch engines if this thing stops. All right, let's work on angling. Good, slowly. We are gaining speed. Still a little wobbly. Those extra struts I mentioned may be in order. Let's spin out. Go do it. Okay. We're in orbit. kill the engines. Look at the... Don't kill the engines. Keep on going. We're not... It says orbit. I think it's just... We're far enough away. But we need this to still be better. Check to see where the periapse is. Might be up in space. I'm assuming that was... That's too late. Yeah. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was, but... We might be able to just build our orbit without even doing a maneuver at the top like I do for everything else. Those are... So these engines are almost spent. Now we're in orbit. Okay. Point to the maneuver node. You can do it. You could do it. It's a fairly short burn, so I think that'll work. We'll see how much fuel and like oomph I have and everything else. See if this is enough to make the mission work, or if I made it worse by adding on more engines. We'll see. So at 25, we'll do the burn. These two things to be at least 100,000, so we are in an actual orbit. What's your favorite? We're about to switch engines. Let's see if we... Okay, we're in. Okay, there we go. Orbit. Orbit, and we still have, you know, what? No, we're this way. We have these two tanks, which is this, and then we have this extra tank there. So we'll see. Oh, I don't know. Who knows? All right. So there's Min-Miss. I'm trying to remember how we do this now. So we want to set... on one of these nodes, we want to add a maneuver, and our goal is to make these be more towards 0. We have to also keep in mind this is changing our... So whatever we do, we don't want to lose. We don't want to start intercepting with Kerbin. But we need to change these to be as close as we can to 0. Okay, so that's a thing. That will give us so we'll still be in orbit with that maneuver. Okay. So that will give us the orbit, matching the orbit with Min-Miss. So we're going to point to the maneuver node. Very slowly. All these things I learned from I think it was a tutorial, actually, in the game. Okay. So the ship's not great, but it seems like it will probably do the job. Well, at least we'll see. Kerbin's orbit starts at Kerbin's atmosphere. Oh, 70. Okay, gotcha. 70,000. Okay. All right. So we're pointing at the maneuver. We're going to burn it 10 seconds. So we're going to just speed up to the next maneuver node. Warp to next maneuver. So we're going to get to 10 seconds. And then we're going to hit shift. So this one I can't really eyeball at all. So this one we're going to just go based on the maneuver. Or I can't eyeball easily. I don't know what I'd be looking at. Kill it. Okay. So potentially that worked. Yeah, good enough. Okay. If we burn a little bit more, is that gonna make it worse or better? I guess I don't know, so I'll leave it. Next. These are basically equal, so it doesn't really matter. But I think we probably want to grab this one maybe. And we want to get an encounter. It's a long burn. Is it because of that, like, tiny percent that we're not going to encounter? Or that's not even, that's the one. Okay, sorry. Okay. So it's a minute burn. So it's actually, it's quite a bit to get out there. Okay, that's good to know. Science. Okay, so let's do this burn. Point to maneuver node. Fairly long burn. I feel like, we'll see. We could transmit it back even. So even if we can't get back, this is a robot mission, so it's fine. Then we're going to speed up. So we want to get to, it's going to be about 40, 30, 38. So we'll see. Might still have this fuel, actually. The getting back part, I'm not sure. Might still have that fuel tank. This one's a smaller engine than we have up here. But you can get back. All right. So this, I encounter it, and then I think we actually already have, without any extra fuel, I can't really tell what's going on here, but on the way back, without even having any extra fuel, just I encounter it and then I unencounter it. I'm already going to be fairly close. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let's encounter, right? And then what does our fuel look like? Yeah, so we already have, you know, quite a bit of that fuel tank. And all right, so good, good. I think this is telling me the red is a little, that may be a problem. So one thing I don't know about the whole robots and stuff, that line turned into red. Am I too far away to transmit back? But am I too far away to give this thing any commands? I don't know how exactly these robots work. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah, no signal to the probe. So we'll see. I also don't know how to make like a signal thing. So we're gonna try to add a maneuver. Yeah, okay. We're gonna try to do any science. It seems like I could still do science, which doesn't make any sense, but and then it's luckily the way I have it set up is it's going to come back into range based on the maneuver I picked. So I think I can control it once it comes back. I'm glad I planned ahead for that. Okay, so we've done a bunch of science. So I can't control it. I can't do anything different. But I believe the outcome will be that it's going to come back and then be in range. Then I can control it. Certain features are disabled, not everything. Yeah. Okay. So, good. That worked out, sort of. But yeah, so if I brought a person out here, it looks like I have a lot of fuel. And that was even with... well, I guess the start would be the same unless I change the ship. Okay. So now we just speed up time, I guess. There's nothing else I could do. Whee! Goodbye! So as it switches over, then we can warp. Wait, what? Oh, what's wrong? What did I miss? Is the ship... So, yes. So the... JJ Bonzig. So what happened is I planned the thing. I have an encounter, and it was like, oh, that's convenient that I happen to be coming back over to Kerbin as a result. I'm too far away for my signal. So... I don't know how to build like relay satellites or anything, but anyway, so my probe is too far away, so I can't even control it. But luckily I can still run the experiments, and then it's gonna be on its way back and eventually hook up. So we need to warp time. So right now it's still in the encounter, I think. Okay, now we're back to Kerbin. Crazy Kerbin thing. And I can't control it. I have no control over the ship. Right, yeah. I was able to do a bunch of science, and then we have lots of fuel, so I think we'll be able to get back. Obviously, I can't do EVAs and crew report and stuff, but I was able to run all the experiments. So we're good. I believe that it's going around this direction. Yeah, okay, let's warp to get closer. Because we can't control it when it's out there, so we'll just Oh, right. I want to warp to here. There we go. So success. Luckily, because if I had just said, "Oh, it's an encounter," I'll just fix it when I'm out there, and then the outcome was going to be that I was going to shoot off into space, then you know, then I would have been screwed. Or even if it would have like gone into an orbit, if I just happened to, you know, do it where it was going to be an orbit of Mun or of Minmus, then I'd be really screwed because it would just sit out there. So I don't know how to do relay stuff. Like if I have antennas, like how come some of these other things that I have out here, would they work as being able to send the signal around? I don't know. Like is there a setting on the antennas or something to say like be a relay? I don't know. Okay, so now we have weak signal. We're still weak signal. Let's work closer. All right, so I think that what I'm going to do is when I get to the other side of this periapsis, I'm going to bring in my apoapsis. So I'm going to burn here. At a maneuver. Just throw things with a bunch of antennas. Yeah, in orbit. Yeah, so what I don't understand, because all these lines are all pointing to that, but like it doesn't seem like it's saying like, oh, I have access to this stuff over here. So I don't know. There's got to be, I mean, I'm assuming there's a way, because there's the whole network thing. I'm assuming that there's a way where you can like tell this thing to be a relay. I don't know. I'm not sure. This thing? I don't know what I'm looking at. I don't know what the screen is. Okay, great. Great. Go ahead. Alright. So let's warp to the maneuver. Once we're there, we're going to point retrograde. In the map view, there's a bunch of icons on the top left near the missions. Top left. The upper right one toggles the signal routes. So, first hop. Huh. But can I go through that one if I wanted to? I mean, it's not the quickest route. Maybe if I was here, it would actually try and go through it. I'm not sure. Or like maybe when that guy turns around, maybe it'll connect to it. So let's speed up a little bit. And see if, I guess that guy's not going around quick enough to really do this test. I got you, okay. Oh, that's true. Yeah, this antenna here is just a little wimpy antenna. It's not, okay. Yeah, so it's not going through this guy. I don't know. Okay, so my plan is to go retrograde once we get to the maneuver. And I believe that will bring in our orbit. So let's warp to the next maneuver. Point retrograde, fire engines. Everything's probably going to be fine. Fine. Or actually, we're not quite there, but sorry. That's quick. Wow. These engines are really powerful. Okay. So I have way more juice than I need. Okay. Settled. But I still have that engine, and there's another engine. Okay. So it's probably safe to bring up a person. We'll see what other science, what things we get. Because if we get the science center, then maybe we should consider, you know, doing some science center stuff. Or we could just finish off this mission, get all the science from that, and then start doing more long-term missions. I'm kind of thinking that. We already tested out this ship, might as well send somebody over there. So we're working on getting this guy to like 20 or 30 maybe. I guess I'll do 20. Let's see. Which one's the longer one? I don't remember now. Okay, this one over here. I thought there was a wall of text, but it just refreshed weird. The chat. Right. So what? At 20,000, I will stop. Okay. And now we will ditch all this extra fuel. Let's point prograde. Is there an easy way to see how much science we have on the ship? Oh, what is this? Yeah, so planetary bases, like that looks fun. Oh, maybe this is the thing. I had to connect it up through these tubes. The thing I was trying to figure out how to use. Okay, well, we'll get there. So pointing prograde. We're gonna ditch some engines. It's gonna fire. No, stop. What did I screw up? Okay, let's point retrograde. Actually, we'll do prograde. We're gonna ditch this engine. Or I guess... No, I could just rearrange the staging. I gotta... Yeah. Yeah, it does... Like, so that's the planetary one? Or, so yeah, so this would be on a planet. You'd have all this stuff. Tubes and whatever. And then I also have... I guess it's not in here. But I also have... That's a space lab. Yeah, I don't know if it's in here or not. But there's, I also have, like other planetary, things. I don't know. I've never looked at this thing. Okay, all right. We're putting prograde. I'm gonna get rid of this. And then we're going to point retrograde, fix our approach. You're not going to hit that thing, are you? Let's get a little bit further away from that thing before we whip around. Okay, let's try now. So now go retrograde and fix your orbit. Okay. And then we're gonna get this down. It's not actually on, is it? Down to 20. Okay. Prograde. And ditch it. So we're going to do one more mission without like some of the new science stuff. And then we're going to start doing longer missions. So we're going to try and bring like food supplies and little like, you know, farms and stuff like that. Speed up time. All right, we're in re-entry now. So it's starting to drop down. Our battery is good. It's a shame you can't speed up and have the SAS still function. Otherwise, I'd speed this part up. I'm really glad that I could still do that science, even though I didn't have control over the robot. Because otherwise, I would, you know. So maybe I need bigger antennas and make some like relay satellites that are around. Maybe that's the issue. I think I've just been putting a tiny antenna on there, so maybe that's another thing I could do is I could make a couple satellite probes. Solar, you know, solar satellite stuff. So, are we about to land? I think we're about to land. Yeah, we're landing. Oh, shit. Good. Water landing. Nice and safe. Actually, it might be land. We'll see. Hopefully we'll land safe. Something else blowing up. I don't know. It's weird that you can hear some of the other parts of the ship blow up, even though they're not near you at all. Like, I think that was probably pretty far away. So we're gonna, next one is gonna be sending up a dude to do the same experiments. We'll get more science from it, plus EVA and crew report, and then come back, and then we'll do longer missions. I might, at some point also, I'll be playing with docking, because there's, you know, a bunch of different, I've never done docking, so I need to make some robots, ships with docking, and try and do docking in space, practice on that. But let's see, are we landing on land or no, water? Okay. Very satisfying. Cool. And I even have an add-on that's supposed to add sounds. I don't know if it'll work or not. It's supposed to add like extra sounds for docking, but I don't know. And it says it's easy to integrate with another add-on, but my guess is the other add-on has to integrate with it. So I have a feeling that it won't play sounds, depending on if I'm using stock sound stuff maybe. But I have a lot of like non-stock things. So yeah, if we look in here while we're landing, so is this? It's already open. I see. So there's. Oh, I see. So then there's some buildings that are smaller, and then when you can deploy them. And so this is the planetary one. This is like you'd be. So like you'd build a colony on the moon or whatever. And there's storage bays, so that's where the storage things we saw were. Corridors that all hook up. I don't know how you would build all this exactly. Like transport it and then somehow build it all. I don't really understand, but we'll see. Air brakes. Huh. It's in space. It can only go down. Yeah, so we'll see. Lots of different things to figure out with all that. So that's just one of them. So that's the planetary one, and then the other one, which isn't showing in here, I don't think, is there's one that has like a bunch of different space labs and stuff. Which yeah, I don't think is in here, but it'd be fun. So you're gonna have like a space station with a bunch of different crafts that can dock up to it, and then you have to. And then because I have the food supply one or the food one, we might have to resupply it, or at the very least, like have the greenhouses and things like that attached to it. So. But definitely, since I'm using more robots, I want relay satellites, because that was that was a little surprising. Good lesson that I wasn't able to talk to the spacecraft anymore. Luckily, it came back, and we're gonna get the science from it. Oh, this might be the thing for docking. Might be the docking thing. Okay, we're almost there. I didn't. Oh, I didn't know that there was an extended antenna. Oh. Does that make it go further? Yeah, the docking port alignment indicator. I think it'll be very handy. I didn't know you could extend that. Okay. I'm assuming I can't do any science here, but might as well check, right? That's like a different ocean. No. Okay. Good. Recover. So how much did we get from that? Oh, we actually got quite a bit. Wow. Okay, great. Let's go to research. So, this is the mobile science lab, and then a bunch of other experiment stuff. So we can afford that. We also, or I could just bank it for now, and then we can get a person and do the rest of the experiments. I just think we should do that. So that will be the end of this episode on YouTube. Thank you everybody for watching. See you next time.